All right. Good morning. Good morning. Bear with me just a moment. Okay. This is a test. I'm just trying to do a few of the different um, checking the streaming qualities of the different mechanisms we can use for Circle, so I have a good sense of what's the best. So we've used the internal streaming. This functionality is basically just we're streaming anyways. Do we just pop in? Um, anyways, if you could let me know who's here. I see Sandy. She said good morning. She can see in here. But if you could just say hello so I know who's with us. And then after today, I'm going to evaluate what do we think about this? Do we like this? Do we prefer internal, etc.? So I'm sure I'm going to give it the customary few minutes to make sure that everybody's popping in because I have no doubt a few people are like, what's going on here? But my understanding is that when you click to join, it just pops you into the live room or the live YouTube. Is that right? Um, Bob Walker, no. We actually popped out this time. So I'm just kind of playing around with different functionalities on Circle to make sure that I completely understand, and I can't really get it until I actually execute it so that I can then hear from people. How did you get in? Was it hard? Was it easy? What was there friction? If so, what? And that way we can kind of narrow it down. So Gray Lynn is here. Happy Sunday. PJ's here after a couple hiccups. PJ, if you don't mind, shoot me a message and let me know what the hiccups were. I agree. I think Circle's pretty easy. Um, you know, we'll see what the verdict. Had to do a couple of clicks to get here. Okay. Took a couple clicks. Was it cumbersome? We have 2 more minutes to let people come in. So those of you who want to quickly type in scale from 1 to 10. How was it getting in compared to just like when we pop into the Circle stream room? Was it just like, oh, it was an extra click, no big deal? One's an 8, one's a 9, or was this one considerably different? Let me know. Good morning, press. Is it new? No. I was saying to everyone, I knew it would kind of cause, some minor disruption. I'm testing the different ways that I have the ability to communicate. Like, is it easier? Is it better? Is it faster? Is it cleaner? Things like that. So I can do this. Um, 10 out of 10, one extra click, no problem. Just new. So it took you to YouTube. Essentially, basically, you can stream via the Circle, but we stream a lot. We meet a lot. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize the way, I don't know. Like they have like restrictions and things that are like, I'm like, I don't know. Do I want to set up a different parameter with YouTube? That's all it is. We're testing. And so what this does is it just allows us to put our channel line when it's time for the meeting, you click it and it pops you out to YouTube, like where we are now. And when you're done, you close it and you're right back on Circle again. I'm still going to post the recording. I'm still, getting that information. So, Had to find where to click. Once you found it, all good. Okay. Awesome. You guys, thank you for the feedback. I'm going to go ahead and start the recording, and we're going to get going. And when we're done, you can let me know as well. I didn't get it in time, so a couple of things. Let me just start the recording, and I'll tell you the updates. Welcome out, everyone, to the Market Watch Group Weekly Market Prep officially. My name is Scott. We're a little past 11 a.m. Eastern, making sure everybody's here. Trying out this new. So Circle has a few different ways that we can do things. And so I just want to test them a little bit so I understand, is this helpful? Is this useful? Or are we going to only do it a certain way? So this is just, instead of streaming via their platform, I'm also streaming on YouTube. I stream there. It's a backup. It records. So I thought, well, if I'm already streaming there, why not just connect the stream? And when you click the meeting, it just pops you into our channel. Let's see. Let's see if we like it. We'll try it a couple of times. If the feedback is not good, we shelf it. We go back. That's all it is. So I appreciate everybody's willingness to help and provide some feedback on that. Should I leave? It's not in Circle. It's not in there at all. So there is no internal. It's only one or the other. And so you should be able to it should be the same. You should be seeing the screen. You have your chat on the right. So it should look and feel just like as if it was in Circle, just not in Circle. So if your feedback is, create a channel to join the chat. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Sorry, never mind. Okay, anyways, let's keep going. Quickly, disclaimers. Always remember, this is for educational, illustrative purposes only. We're not brokers. We're not advisors. We don't give advice. We don't give recommendations. That's the usual. And our agenda. We're going to market posture, of course. I am going to, not this week, but next week. Yes, stay on YouTube. This is the only place it's broadcasting now is in YouTube, so just stay in YouTube. That's where we are right now, for sure. The market posture, we're going to score it. We're going to look at the economic calendar. We're going to, we're not going to search. I need to go through and adjust some of my slides, because what we've done is we've kicked sector searching to Tuesday nights. And right now our watch list is pretty strong. So watch list maintenance is really not all that necessary, but, yeah, I definitely want to see if there's opportunities for us that we can be looking to trade. So, let's get into it. Okay. So I do see your comments. So please, let's keep the conversation going in that regard. And, we will go from there. So, I don't see anything on my screen actually right now. Are you guys seeing anything? Oh, there it is. Okay. It's a little funky for me because I watch to make sure that it's working. So, okay. Let's get cracking. You know, what's funny is I find that I prefer to be able to see everybody who's in the room. I mean, and I know that as we continue to grow, that becomes less and less tenable as far as that goes. So, yeah. You know what? You should be able to, Bob, you should be able to pop out chat. And if you pop out chat, then you should be able to maximize it and then have that on the side where the screen is full screen. So there are three buttons or three dots where you're at the top of the chat and an X. And if you click on those three those three dots, it's a pop-out chat, and then you can maximize your screen. Okay. Market posture. Let's talk about this market of ours. So last week was very interesting because we went from here to here. We dropped, and our market posture went higher. Right? The market dropped, our posture went higher. And so, sorry, let me just make sure I lose chat. How do you pop out chat? One more time, just so we all have it. If you go up at the top of the chat box, there's three dots. There should be three dots, like a little menu. And when you click on that, it gives you some options. And one of them is to pop out chat. And then it pops it into a separate window. And then once that separate window's up, you can go maximize your screen. And now you have both. But you just got to find where you want to put the chat. So, okay. Let's drop this back. The other concern I have, and I'm not sure because I might be getting a lag on the screen that I have, is how quickly are you seeing what I'm doing, and are you seeing it at the same time as the video and audio coming? So if there's ever a point where you're like, gosh, it feels like there's a lag with what he's saying and what's going on, let me know for sure. All right. Long-term trend. Now, I'm leaving this green trend here just in case. You'll notice we actually shot back up into this trend, dropped right to the just smack dab on our line, and then our line opened and we pushed off. So when you look at this channel from the bottom of the channel, you could certainly make an argument that, hey, we're back in the green. But for me, that's not. And the reason I say that is because what happened at the top. Right? You'll notice at the highs, we didn't get there. We definitely didn't get there. It's not coming up. Popped it out, but lost it when I full-sized the screen. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah. If anyone has figured that out, definitely put it in the comments how to get full screen and chat. That would be amazing. I clicked on the link in the email reminder, did not get the live session. Then went to the view event, went to circle, join virtual event. Okay. Thank you for the extra context, PJ. Appreciate it. Now, as far as if we were to then draw the bottom of this and connect it, you can see there's the blue lines. They're kind of sitting in there. I'm not sure yet. I don't think we have the next full channel developed, but for me, it's not the green. It's closer to the red. The red is when we were more at a let me just go back and see. 1.5, I believe, is what the score was. The green was 1.5. Yeah, actually, as I look at it, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Out of 2 points, I actually feel like that green may have been more of a 175 in retrospect. And we may find ourselves, when this finds its new trend, deciding if we like the angle. But for now, nothing's changed enough for me, so I'm going to leave my score 1.25. Remember, those of you who are new, if you haven't had a chance to watch the scoring process, it's a little trick is that they're sitting right here. This tells you how many points each one of these is potentially worth. And this gives you the final 10. So this is out of 2. 2 is the strongest trend you've ever seen and could ever see. I've never scored a 2. 1.75 about as good as I'll score a long-term trend. And this is out of 3, right? So that gives you a sense. Is it a good, solid score? Yes. Could it get better still? Yes. Okay, let's go back. My score is unchanged. Okay. Pop out only works if you have 2 screens. Beautiful. Exactly. Thank you, PJ. Thank you, PJ. I'll tell you what's funny. I don't know if Miguel's here, but he was talking about a travel screen. It's so easy to buy extra screens these days. You should have 2 screens at a minimum. Never work on 1 screen. Even if you're traveling, I got a travel screen now that I use. It's pretty cool. It's cheap, easy. Okay, short-term trend. Let's go talk about the short-term trend. And welcome out Nicasio. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Good to have you. It's harder for me to see when we have the new folks in if they don't say hello. When I see their names, I'll just reach out and be like, hey. But anyway, glad to have you. Let me get to... And please be putting your scores. Are you higher than me? Are you lower than me at 1.25 on the long term? I am very close to having the poll system ready. I focused on the welcome tour yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to finish that polling so that we can start formally creating a group composite score that I will keep track of alongside my own score. Okay. Oh, awesome. Glad. I'm very glad. Okay. Let's get our score was a 1.75. This score hasn't changed for weeks. Do we feel like we have it right? I got to tell you, I really do. I feel like we worked to find, and this is what we're scoring right here, right? Remember that this is a 0 straight across. That's a 0. And it can get pretty steep on the short term, right? It could get pretty steep on the short term. So this is real close to the middle. Am I a 1.5 or a 1.75? A little higher maybe than middle? What are we at? Nope, that's the wrong thing. 1.75. Yeah. Just a little higher than the middle if that's our range, right? If this is a 3 angle, this is just a little higher than middle. Some people might have it as a 1.5. I'm a 1.75. Kevin Halligan is here. Kevin, amazing. Welcome. Thank you for saying hello. Glad to have you. Please feel free to ask questions, make comments. I feel like sometimes people are thinking to themselves, gosh, Scott, it's fun to listen to. I bet he's handsome too. You could say things like that if you were thinking it. I don't know. I'm just kidding. All right. For newbies, I added a comment box on each category. So, oh, okay, there you go. Very nice. No, I'm glad we've got some new blood in here. I hope you ask questions and feel comfortable contributing to the conversation. Absolutely. Okay, let's get that trend score out of the way, and let's get to volume. I thought volume might be interesting this week, so let's pull back. And if you are new, remember that if I'm going through this, you're like, what are you talking about with all these scores? All you have to do is I'm going to pull it over here in just a second here. Come over here to the courses page. Courses, and you have the new members tour is good and ready to go. But if you come into the market posture, 12 to 15 minute video per each component that we go through. That'll just get you up to speed, get you feeling comfortable, make it feel like you're like, and make sure you download your own market posture log. Make sure you download or at least get access to the historical and fill in the historical so you have some historical data that you can reference and make it part of your routine. How do we communicate while on YouTube? Chat, Stephen D. I hope you found it. I haven't seen if you've commented. I think you have, but I hope you found that. Sorry, I just noticed that there was a comment on Circle. On Circle. Okay. Let's keep going. I lost my chat though. Hold on. Where is everybody? There we go. You can get all of these links in the resources. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Sandy says Scott's okay. I love it. It's so funny. Sandy, you're the best. Okay. Volume. So volume's been jumping. We had a big jump from minus 0.25 to 0.5 when we had 3 above average volume days in a row post-election. Bam, bam, bam. Breakout volume, right? But then last week it ebbed a little bit. So now what? Are we going to flow? Let's go see. Am I going to create a new column on the market posture log, Miguel? Let me know. I maybe that sounds familiar, and if you're bringing it up, it probably makes sense. So, yeah, let's okay, let's score volume. Here's the other thing. Excel. Yeah. Let's shoot me a message to remind me because I'm blanking on it right now. Okay, so we got new volume days 40. Okay, so here's a close one. 46 million versus 49.4. That's 3.4 million. Yeah, that's 5%. That's above average. Here we got almost 10%. So both of these, not hugely, but they met the criteria. This one did not. 46.66, 46.75, not above average, just average. Oh, yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Sorry. Yeah, I do need to start actually putting some numbers in, don't I, Miguel? Oh, I will be glad when we have killed Discord and we're only doing Circle and I have all the processes completely defined. And then my life will be a little bit less disheveled. Okay. This stays the same. This stays the same. Let's talk about volume. Thank you, Miguel. Let's get a couple of extra volume days here. There's one and there, whoops. And there's one. Okay. Day one of volume. Who are we going to give it to? I'm giving it to the buyers. And what's interesting is not only, now we only went from here to here. I get that. That's enough. But more than that, we didn't just engulf this day. We engulfed that last selling day. You guys see that? We engulfed that day. So that was significant right there. The next day, who do we give it to? Nobody. Because it opened, sold all the way back down, tested this level again, then went all the way back up and stayed right where it started. Smart Bob Walker said that he formatted his date to include year because we go back quite a while. We do now. Pop into next year, we'll have 2 full years of market of analysis data. Absolutely. Okay. Tie. I agree. So let's duplicate the text note here. We're going to give this to the buyers. And we're going to activate the T and move it here. That was a tie. That wasn't above average. That wasn't above average. Okay. So now what? Okay. Sellers first. We've got 1, 2. It's funny. You can still see the S right there, but that day dropped off to the left. Right? So that doesn't count. You're gone. You're not counted anymore. So we have 2 sellers. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buyers and 2 ties. And what's interesting is as you look at what's going to fall off anytime soon, 1 tie next week. And after that, we have 1 of each. So for the next 2 weeks, unless we see some new stuff, it looks like this. Missing the tie for 11-13. Oh, I am. I moved it. That's so funny. I thought I took a duplicate. Sorry. Miguel's trying to keep me honest today. He needs to. So we will still have 2 ties. That doesn't change anything. Yeah, that's exactly how I write. If you looked at a piece of paper, it would look just like that, scribbled out, something else next to it. My mom used to tell me that my terrible handwriting would prevent me from acquiring gainful employment. But I showed her. Okay. We're all on the same page? What's the score then? It's clearly going up, right? A 252, that's clearly going higher. I'm moving mine back to a 0.5. Easy enough. Anybody else? What did you do with it? Okay. So, still improving. Look at that. Very exciting. I could be a doctor. She actually said the only way I could with bad handwriting would be to be a doctor. And I set out to prove that wrong. FYI, if you click on a text and then click the space bar, it copies. Miguel, you know all the tricks. That's why my volume chart is skewed to the left. My volume chart, I don't know what that means, Stephen. Skewed to the left. Does that give me context? I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean my analysis is overweighted to the left-hand side, or I'm not sure. That sounds like it's going to open a can. So please put the context in, but I'm going to go on to major market. Okay. Major market. What do we know? What do we know? How do you put the shading in? Where you are tracking volume, you have dropped off the last. Well, it's only a 1 month chart. It does that itself. I don't do anything. It's a 1 month chart. What's happened is the day fell off. You're saying count my days on this 1 month chart? I'm not sure what you mean. This is gonna be this is a 1 month chart, right? So when you come in here, this is always a 1 month daily chart. I never change this chart right here. It's always 1 month daily. It may fluctuate between 21 and 22 days depending on how the 30-day or 31-day month prior to it came. So I wouldn't bother counting. I would just analyze what shows up on the chart if I were you. Okay. Even if that sell day showed up, I wouldn't count it, right? Because it's on the very last day. You guys know I'm prone to throwing out that last day. So even if it showed up, it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't have impacted my score at all. Okay, major market. What do we know? We have an uptrend on 200 A's. Russell popped to the top. Okay. Part of us scoring this to a 1 was predicated by the fact that the Russell moved into a leading position. So if it moves into a, not like a secondary leading position sitting just a little behind the NASDAQ, but actually moves into a leading position where it's in front of the NASDAQ, that's just holding up. That doesn't like make it like, oh, are we less? No, that's bullish. Small caps leading is bullish. Just as and when it's small caps and technology, that's what we're looking for as the textbook. Okay. Major market. Let's move into 133. What do we have? More of the same, right? More of the same. We have the NASDAQ here, but a little bit ahead this time. We have the Russell just behind. We have the S&P right there as well. Who's lagging? The Dow. Again, textbook. Let's go to 66 days. What do we have? One of the things we've seen on this, we had been seeing the NASDAQ behind on the 66 day, and you can see it's actually moved back in to a leading position. It pulled a little back. I'm not gonna get bogged down in the minutia of this last like 3 days. Overall, what do I see? More of the same. Any strength from the Dow. Here's the thing about it. When we see the Dow move ahead of the Russell, ahead of the NASDAQ, that's defensive strength, right? Do you see defensive strength on the Dow right now? Or do you see correlative strength where the Dow is coming along because everybody's strong right now? Yes. For me, it's B, right? This is, again, look at the trends. Look who's in front. Small caps in front. The technology is still recovering from its correction. It did correct back in August. But for me, it's made a full recovery. So I don't see any concerns. Let's go to 22 just to look at it. And more of the same. You can kind of see, look, the NASDAQ is kind of moving back in front of the Dow. We don't see the Dow trying to push in any way. Yeah, my score stays a 1. Let me know your thoughts. The last two fell. When you say the last two fell, Steven, you're saying you're scoring the fact that we went from here to here? Because remember, I'm not scoring. We scored trend already. I'm scoring who's in first, right? Who's leading. It doesn't matter if they fell. If they fell in a position that the NASDAQ and the Russell are still higher, then I'm still a 1. Does that make sense? This is not about of course, we would expect it's going to be moving higher if we're scoring it bullishly, obviously. But it's not the angle or did it go up or down. It's the positioning of our growth markets, the NASDAQ and the Russell, continuing to show the strength that indicates the market's appetite for risk stays strong. The answer is yes. For me. Right? For me. Steven's a 0.75. Anyone else want to weigh in? I can't see anything about this that's concerning. Yeah. Okay. So let's go here. Miguel just put my name in capitals, so he may have a concern. He's like shouting at me, Scott. Screen does not match. Uh-oh. Oh, did I not go all the way over? That could be my fault then. On which one? Oh, you're right. You're right, Miguel. Son of a gun, you guys. Let's start over. Let's start over. Let's see if it changes anything. Okay. I gave this trick out. I'm like, make sure you scroll to the right to make sure, but anyways. Real quickly. Yeah, Russell's still on top. That still looks exactly how I would want it. 133. Let's make sure it's over. Oh, yeah. All of these definitely look exactly. Let's go 66. Okay, so on the 66, you can see that there's just a little bit of an overpass of the Dow beyond the NASDAQ. But again, one little blip, I'm not going to lower my score. I need to see something convincing that says that Dow move is defensive, not correlative to the bullish strength. So, anyways, okay, my fault. That's my bad, you guys. Now I understand. Wait, Steven, I thought you were talking about volume. You were talking about major market? Oh, when you said your chart is different than mine. I see what you're saying. Dow had a big payday this week. Yeah, nothing concerning still. Right? Nothing concerning still. The Dow did well here for sure. It had a big move. Not as big as the Russell. If the Dow made that move and the Russell was sideways, then I'd be like, that looks defensive. That looks like the Dow is moving by itself bullishly when nothing else is. That's defensiveness, right? If the Dow is moving up 4% and the Russell's up 6%, that's not money flowing out of the Russell into the Dow defensively. That's money moving into the Russell at a faster clip than it did the Dow. That's not defensive. That's bullish, right? Did the Dow get a piece? It's not like everyone's like, oh, nobody loves the Dow. The Dow's going to be bullish like everybody else is. What we're looking for in this analysis is a subtle thing when the Dow moves and others don't. And we're like, whoa, wait a second. That's money moving out of bullish things into defensive things. And that has a different ring to it, right? So, again, I want to make sure that I'm focused with my evaluation and my analysis on the impact. I don't want to get bogged down into the minutia of the analysis where I'm like, wait, on this one, it's slightly lower. So I'm going to look, right? Be careful not to get bogged down in that, but make sure that what you're seeing is representative of the impact of the analysis. This is to help us understand the appetite for risk. It is lined up in favor of small caps, in favor of technology, etc. So, Clint says it's fun to correct the teacher. I know it's just probably too easy with me, though. You guys are like, again, Scott, you did it again? That's a great point, too. Greg said there's more tech stocks now in the Dow. The Dow is shifting, right? It's a funny thing, right? Because people are like, oh, the market always goes up. Well, of course it always goes up. Because the market is the indexes, and the indexes take bad things and kick them out, and take good things and bring them in, right? So they're like, yeah, look at the Dow now. Look at the Dow 30 years ago, 60 years ago, 90 years ago. And you can see the shift that it makes for sure. That's a great point. All right. It's good. It's a fun Sunday, you guys. All right. We're doing good, even on YouTube. Yeah? Okay. Let's go do sector rotation. I need time to talk about. We're on our last section of the trading plan. As a formal thing, But those of you who are new, we're going to get started pretty soon on a new. I was like, we're not going to do a trading plan New Year's resolution. And then I'm like, yeah, we are. We're going to trade the new plan. We're going to keep working on our plans. Of course we are. Okay, 200 days. What do we have? Utilities at the top. Still a funky thing. Financials, very strong. We've done well with some financial trades. Communication services. I've traded less in communication services, I feel like. I've done more in industrials, more in financials, more in technology. Tell me if you guys find that you've done better or worse in certain sectors here recently. But again, our growth sectors are right where they need to be. Financials are there, communication services, industrials. There's our discretionary led by Amazon and Tesla. There's the market, and we've got energy in the mix. Did I miss technology? Where's technology? Oh, tech drop. Tech still kind of down in the funk on the 200-day from a sector standpoint. But with 4 out of 5, I had enough. In fact, I got to tell you, when you have the 4 carry technology, that to me indicates it's like, hey, they're going to do their job till tech's ready to pick back up, and we're ready to go again. Okay, what's next? 133. Yeah, look how strong. Discretionary at the top. Financials right there, communication services right there. Then we have utilities kind of ebbing a little bit. Industrial still strongly in the mix. Technology's almost back where it needs to be. And who's down here? Energy and staples and materials and healthcare. Okay. Yeah, same thing here. It's looking nothing but bullish. Whoops. I went to 122. Let's go to 66 days. And what do we have? Discretionary, a lot of strength there. Financials, communication services, industrials, energy's trying to move again. Utilities maybe. And technology. So our big 5 plus maybe utilities has something that we may want to take a peek at. Yeah. At this point, everything is. I've got 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 on all of these. I'm keeping my score to 1. Let's go back to 22 days. I have discretionary. I have energy. I have communication services, financials. industrials, everything, the money, the institutions are moving their money on a consistent basis. Great. Let's keep on keeping on. For me, score stays the same. I'm a 1. Okay, let's get to the VIX, and then let's get to the watch list, and then we'll look at goals for the trading plan, and we'll call it a day. Okay, VIX. We got our high, we got our lower high. Yeah, that's what we said we've been waiting for. Last week we scored it a little better because we last week we didn't just score it at all, did we? Now I forgot. Let me go back. I was about to draw on my chart. Yes, last week we upped it by 1/4 of a point. Why? Why? Because we had a lower low last week. Because we took out this low. We actually took out even this low. And we got down here to this low. Lower low. And we said, what would make us raise it another 1/4 of a point? And you can go back. You can go back to the video of last week and you'll see me draw from right here. And I'd say if it goes up, and I said, I don't think it's going to go above this like 18 level, this moving average. And it gets to this point and it kind of rolls over and it takes out. That's it. That's the lower high. We got what we were asking for. That's spectacular right there. You might think, oh, we've already gotten a few days of move. We could this kind of a thing could give us some extension to that going into next week. Is it a crystal ball? Of course it's not. But is that what we were looking for to raise our score by 1/4 of a point? The answer is yes. Now, could the VIX still get lower still? Yes, if we go down and make another lower low, that puts us down back near like the 12 area. That's going to be where the VIX is its best, where we would expect it to stay low. It's not going to keep going down to 9 and then 6 and then 4. That doesn't happen. 11, 12, that's about where it bottoms out. I mean, it's like on a couple of extreme times touched like 9.9 or something like that. But VIX looks great. So that's where I am. Make an argument. Am I too bullish? Are you that bullish? Less bullish? Is anybody more bullish? I don't have the poll ready yet. I wish I did. It would have been very interesting to see this week's composite. Where's everybody at? Give me your scores if you're willing to put it out there. If you have your score, put it on. Let me know. We'll at least have one more informal. And then next week we will have a post that has a poll. And you'll be able to go in and put your score and see other people's scores. And then when we're done, I'll average it and I'll post a comment on it. So, okay, Sandy is the same. Okay. Anybody else? Let me know. Bob Walker's with me. I believe Steven said he's a 6.5. I believe Steven said a 6.5. Steven D, tell me if that is right or not. 6.5. Yeah, you'll actually, when I do the polls, I have the option of letting you see other respondents. And so the press says the market could be happy about a pick for Treasury Secretary. Honestly, I really don't feel like the market's responding to that at all. The market responded to the election overall, and then it's just kind of like back to business. I mean, maybe the crypto markets will respond to the picks, but for the stock market, I'm reluctant to think there's much impact with cabinet picks. Press is a 7. Miguel's a 7. Greg's a 7. If you believe in your process, then the numbers look good. You know what, Clint? And here's the thing. I agree with you, but at the same time, it's always good to have a measure of devil's advocate. Challenge it. I like it. I mean, I believe that I would be able to, maintain my position for this. If someone were to challenge it and say, well, what about this? Oh, okay. Well, let's go talk about that. I like that. I think it brings up the right things for us to say, well, then what would our concerns be? What would concern us? Well, I can tell you right now, if at any point a higher low comes, that concerns me. So let's just say tomorrow we got a inside doji day like this, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, bam, this comes. Well, tomorrow this is going to have come crossed down a little further. And if we got that and this thing turns, that's a higher low right there. We didn't get back down and it all of a sudden turned. What does that mean? It means that the institutions have all of a sudden gotten jittery and started hedging. Why are they hedging? Because they're concerned. That's why it's called a fear indicator. That's fear. And what do they, right? If they hedge, then they can play with their positions a little bit more too, right? So yeah, I'm certainly going to be mindful, but I got to tell you, Santa Rally, we're coming up. It's December. Go back. Let's real quickly do this, and then we'll go to the trading plan and then the watch list. I'm going to take a little too much time. Okay, so let's go to last year at this time in our Wayback Machine. And right around this same time, you saw, actually a little bit late, we moved quickly. We got 425, 475, then we got to a 6 in December. We didn't hit 7 until February. So we got to a 6 on December 10th of last year. Let's get to a 1-year chart. Let's get to the SPY. So right around here, we got to a 6. And then look what happened. Yeah? I mean, does that mean that's what's going to happen this time? Of course, we don't think that, but we think there's a good chance it could. We were a 6 by this point here, and then we ran. We didn't get to a 7 until in this area in here. And now what? We're there now. I love it. Love it. Find a bull market. Buy the dips. Clint said short week, probably low volume. Yes, a short week. We don't have Thursday, and Friday's going to be light. And it will be very low volume, like below 30% of average. Does that mean it can't move? Absolutely not. I told you. Like, I remember a time, I swear it was one time I was traveling for soccer because I was like in Disneyland and I was on my phone on Black Friday. And the market was like 1.5% on like 30% volume. If it's all buyers, it's going. So yeah, we could see some things for sure. Okay, let's go to the watch list and let's walk through everything that we have. Apple. I mean, Apple's grinding. It's not doing great. You can see it's very flat overall. Aflac. Same. There's better. There's better when it comes to financials. Amazon. We love consumer discretionary right now. Yeah? This is a leader that helped to make it bust out. New high. Now we're in this zone. This old high. Like in this zone. Above the 50, yeah. If this can stabilize and turn, I think we have something to talk about. App 11, that thing just won't pull back. It just won't. AXP, we had a chance for some financials. I think we're a little late now for most of these. BAC, actually, you could make an argument for BAC. Stephen D is a fan. This is one that you could make an argument for a new entry. BK looks good, still moving. BX, oh man. BX was it's not like the other trade we didn't, but that was the other one I was like gonna alert. I'm like, ooh, it moved. It moved. Caterpillar, we saw that, but we chose a different industrial and went with Fastenal. CLS, so some of these they moved. That's it. We missed that. CMG, maybe a continuation trade. Cinemark could be coming into a setup. Coherent that's not really a good trade for me. That entry came too hard and fast, and then it hasn't done anything since then. So, yeah. Cisco. All right, Cisco. We put the Cisco alert on back here, and that trade is looking fabulous. Some people took some profits already. Great. You could take profit. You could take some profit and hold some. You could hold some. It looks like it has plenty of opportunity to try to continue making that move there. So that's a live alert. Delta. Oh, Delta. So Delta is kind of a funny, I consider Delta to be consumer. But you'll sometimes see people put it in industrials. I'm not sure. But that looks great. I think Delta's setting up like Amazon. So I should have been marking these down a little better than I did. So let me get Amazon. And Delta's on the list. We said BAC. Potentially still, I'm looking for things that are still viable, still something that I could latch on to. CNK, consumer services. I guess that could be communication services too. I guess that one might be communication services as I think about it. Did I miss any of these? CLS, BA. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's keep going. CMG, CNK, Coherent, Cisco's on, Delta. Sorry, I got behind where I was. Fastenal. Fastenal, I think you could still make the argument for. The alert came here. Yeah, you could still look at that from a continuation trade standpoint. I'll put that still on the list of things. Fastenal, still viable. Let me zoom back into my normal chart. Hold on. Flex, a little overextended. Fox, yeah. I think you could argue for a continuation trade on that. Bitcoin way overextended. GE Vernova, gold smashing. Miguel caught it down at the bottom. It's making a V style move. I'll tell you this. When the V is over, the next move is definitely going to be viable. Now that the buyers have put that much in after this. Looks like it was more than a correction. Let's see. 257, 25 points, 22, 32. Not quite a correction. Almost 10%. GM. Oh, we talked about GM. We said we liked it right there, but didn't end up pulling the trigger. It got a great move. Great move. Google, no, I don't like it breaking the 50. Goldman. Actually, I think Goldman, you could make an argument for a continuation trade still. I think we could still get some things on. Home Depot, you could make the argument there. Robinhood, maybe on a flag pattern here. I think we have plenty of stuff too. Watch list looks strong. HWM, no. IBM, I put IBM back on the list. We were talking about it, and Miguel was laughing because he's like, right here when I was watching it not get through the 50. But quite honestly, what's happened is it double bottom, but it didn't complete the double bottom until here. Right? That when it breaks this midpoint. So you know what? If it pulls back and gives a higher low, all right. I'm back. I'm back on the team. IP, nope, too late. Stephen D's like, can that keep going? Sure, right? Always can keep going. IWM? No. JCI. So JCI kind of, believe me, I've picked those before. So if anyone ended up in JCI instead of Caterpillar or Fastenal, don't lose patience. It's just a little hiccup, but yeah, it's frustrating when it doesn't move. KKR, not as strong as BX, but still moving well. That was an alert that we put on here, I believe. No, maybe it was the day before that, actually. Here. That looks good. Still going. Some of you may have taken some profits. Some may be still in it. MasterCard. Yes. That's a yes. If you missed AXP, MasterCard looks like it's good to follow. Meta. Nah, I'm not feeling it. Morgan Stanley, that's a maybe. Microsoft, no. Such a flat trend. MicroStrategy, oh, the shark frenzy continues. NDAQ, nothing there yet. Netflix, overextended. Yes, for me, for NVIDIA. I still think you're going to see that remember that it got added to the Dow. It has to now be acquired by all Dow tracking stocks to the percentage of its composite in the index. So I still think you'll see some buying pressure from that. PLTR. Oh, you know I'm a yes on PLTR. That was our alert on Friday. Still viable. Just came out late Friday as we break this little pennant formation. A lot of strength, a lot of momentum. We were looking for our third on this one. We've had some great success. Or maybe, was it our third or our fourth? I think it's our third. Been some good trades on Palantir. Let me go check on the chat. Make sure I'm not missing any good comments. Nice profit on KKR. Still in Fastenal. Very, very nice. Love it. Yeah, I got to say, I think we're going to still get some more. PayPal. I still think PayPal has some viability. A continuation trade, maybe. PayPal in financial services. QQQ looks pretty good. Roblox, not yet, but setting up maybe. Reddit, a little overextended. Rocket Labs, way overextended. C Limited, overextended. Southern. This is utilities. I kept a couple of utilities, but I don't like the way that looks. SoFi, way overextended. SPY still has some bullishness. Tegna, okay. TJX. I'd put TJX on my list of consumer discretionaries that are viable. T-Mobile, definitely. I put MasterCard in the wrong place. I'm like, why is that by Fox? T-Mobile is a communication services. That looks great. I bet that looks perfect for a Heiken-Ashi. Let's go see if I'm right. Oh, yeah. Oh, that could be something on Monday. Toast. I don't know what Toast does or is, but it's a mover. It's overextended for us, though. Tesla, no. TSM. I like NVIDIA, but not TSM actually right now. So, yeah, technology, there's not a lot showing up right now. Maybe technology we should do some searching on Tuesday. Twilio, got a signal. It's moving like a lot of them. Upwork, just getting started. The dollar continues to be strong. That's good for me. going to Europe in a couple of weeks. Not great for the market if it continues to stay this high. There's the VIX. Oh, look at Victoria's Secret on Friday. VRT overextended. Victoria's Secret had a nice bust out. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Walmart didn't really give us a chance after earnings. But I'll tell you what, there's a significant difference between Target and Walmart right now. Right? So there is a
water the bomb up.
I get that reminder every time. Here is Target, if you saw this last week. They got smashed from 150 down to 120. Here is Walmart. Very, very different story. Interesting. For the sake of time, so I can go talk about the plan, I'm not going to go through the X's, but we'll go through those tomorrow. XPEV possibly setting up, and Zillow. We missed it, but still looks good. So we have a good list of candidates still. All 5 sectors. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 candidates for potential setups, even though we got 3 trades last week. Love it. Love that. Okay, real quickly now, we are on section 8. I don't care if this is the first time you've seen the trading plan. Section 8's about trading goals. You can go in there and just start setting some goals. Maybe your goal is to write your trading plan. Maybe your goal is to get your record keeping in place. Maybe your goal, right? Whatever it is, let's get some goals. We're getting close to the end of the year. We're gonna start trading our new plans and whatever else. Let me get rid of this. Let me pull this up. If you haven't seen this yet because you're new, get into our resources and download a copy of your trading plan. This is what we work on from week to week. There is a course in our courses. It's one of the shorter ones. Each video is about 15 minutes. And it goes into detail of each of these trading plan sections. So you can be like, what am I doing with market posture? What am I doing with my trading systems? My risk management, my routines, my record keeping, my analytics, and finally, my improvement strategies. This is where we are now. What is my thought process? You can have one outcome goal. What does that mean? I want to make 30% this year. I would prefer to see you set it relative to the market. I want to double the market. Whatever it did, I want double. Market does 8, I want 16. Market does 15, I want 30. It's a good starting point, right? To just give you, so you're not like, hey, I want to make 30%. What if the market drops 20? And if the market's negative, I don't want the opposite. Market's negative, I would live with breaking even. That's all I care about. Can I break even? Can I only lose 2 to 3, 5% maybe? Right? But it does need to have context when we set things like that. I prefer process goals where we focus on improving the trading process. You should have a spreadsheet to keep records of your goals. The goals should be SMART, which means it's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable, it's reasonable, it's timely. And you have a timeline and you define specific action steps. You monitor the frequency, and you make notes. And when you're done, you mark if you achieved it. Should you set it again? And you're constantly trying to do things better. How do we find goals? Focus on weaknesses from section 1 in your trading plan. Focus on trading priorities that you identify during your record keeping and analytics. Set goals based on analytics, right? What do? Let's lose less when we're wrong. Let's make more when we're right. Right? These are the things we're trying to do. Okay, that's it. Let me go back. I haven't looked at the comments for a while, so people maybe were saying things to me that I missed. So, Target is a French woke company. Clint said still didn't learn anything. About anything? Nothing at all? Well, we'll try harder next time, Clint. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? Oh, Target still didn't learn anything. No, they didn't, did they? They really shoot themselves in the foot. Often. I thought Clint was talking about today's market posture. I was like, well, I thought we learned something, Clint. Okay, you guys. Fabulous day today. Sorry I took 10 extra minutes. We've got trades on. We've got trades lined up. We've got a bullish market. We've got December as a cyclical, fantastic month. A lot of wins at our back. I mean, the Fed's on our side. Oh, we didn't even talk about the Fed. We didn't even look at the economic calendar. I am struggling today, you guys. Let's just take a quick glance. We have some consumer confidence. We have GDP. We have PCE. Like, we are chock full of announcements on Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. So that should be interesting. Good, Nikazia. I know it's hard when you first come in, but yeah, reach out. People are here to help. I'm here. Glenn's here. Whatever we can do to help to help you get to that point. The other thing is the Fed. Let's just take a real quick peek. Oh, I lost the Fed. No, he's right here. 50-50. We're very close to 50-50. So, how do we end up at 6.5? You and me with such a different. I'm at 7. Oh, I see bullish. I think I see more bullish than you. That's one PJ, you're looking at exactly the one I got. Miguel showed it to me, and he's like, this one is like a 4K ultra high resolution. It was like $200, and I'm like, I'm so cheap, I don't care. It's only for this. I paid $70 for mine. I got the regular. Mine's HD. It's not 4K or ultra high res. Like, it was like $70. That's what I paid, and I got it out, set it up, and I'm like, this is perfect. This is all I need. I don't watch anything on it. I just like need it to have like 2 screens when I travel. So if you're seeing like 70, that's exactly where I was. If you're fancy and you want super high res like Miguel, you'll be closer to 200. Amazing. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow morning. As always,